next person I want to bring up, if he's ready. You got your keynote? I go, hey, you got a keynote you want to put on? He breaks out some yellow paper and goes, will this work? I was like, that's my boy. So, great guy. I met him through Facebook. Yes, sir. Oh. New Boardroom Elite member. Woo! Congratulations. Boom, boom, boom. All right. So met Bryan on and basically through Facebook. He came last year to the event, had a great time, hung out, went through the last event. He's doing incredible stuff. And one thing about Bryan that I love about him so much is that he doesn't question. So we go, okay, do this, and this, and he just does this, and this. You know, you go this, you know, do the step by step. You know, okay, get out, do marketing, pay-per-click, drop mail, talk to sellers, get contracts. You know, he made offers on Zillow, he did pay-per-click, then he started hiring people, you know, and then he just completely blew up. So what he's going to talk about is his transformation from just getting started to now consistently doing $100,000 a month in revenue. Wouldn't that be exciting? 100,000. People go, I just want to make 6 figures. You know, is that a year or a month? You know, it's like, what is it? 6 figures a month. So I'd like to welcome up Mr. Bryan Harris. Boom, boom, boom.
Sean Terry!
What up, Facebook?
Thank you so much.
So we got to turn around and show 'em.
Okay, hold on.
Let's go see.
Everybody say, well, hold on, let me turn the screen around.
There we go, Facebook Live. Oh, you got to turn it around.
All right. Everybody say, what's up?
Bryan Harris, Facebook Live, that's what I'm talking about.
What's up?
What up, Facebook?
All right, guys, that's it. I'm going to turn it off. Oh, I got the mic on here. Cool. I got the mic on my thing. Okay, I got my notes, guys, so I wrote them out, and so bear along with me. I got a few minutes to share my entire life story with you and how I got to this stage. I want to just say first, thank you to the man. Y'all give it up for Sean Terry. Absolutely phenomenal. I thank God for that man every day, and I also want to say thank you to my beautiful wife. She's over there. If you could just wave your hand, Maria. My mom and dad also, they're not here. And my team, Diamond, Mowbray, and the rest of my team, Mowbray, and I don't know where he is, if you can wave your hand. All right, guys, look, I want to go ahead and get started. What up? It's your boy, B. Guys, last year I sat in the chair just like you guys. And I remember thinking to myself, man, this is so surreal. I'm listening to the information, and the only thing I could think about after hearing all of the speakers and Kent Clothier and Alex Youngblood was I got to get back to Memphis so that I can bang it out and go make it happen and win big for myself and my family. So I went home and I got it in, but I want to first rewind and tell you back from when I got started. I was 21 years old. I attended Austin Peay State University in Clarksville, Tennessee. As you can see, I'm a heavy-set guy. I played football. And my dream was always to make some money so that I can take care of my parents, buy my mom the big house and all that stuff, and to be able to support my family. But, of course, that dream didn't work out like I wanted it to. So I ended up dropping out of college to pursue that dream of football. And long story short, didn't make it to the way I wanted to make it, so I had to come back home looking for a job. And just like today's economy, nobody was hiring. I couldn't find a job. I'm 21 years old, and I'm like, oh, my God, what am I going to do? I didn't want to mooch off my family. I didn't want to mooch off my mom and dad. And so I was looking for opportunity. And I remember Sean has a quote, ask and it shall be given. So I remember praying, and I'm going to come back to this. I remember praying to God saying, please help, send me something. What do I need to do? And all of these different things. And, of course, he sent me this opportunity. It's a very similar story to Sean Terry. He sent me this opportunity where I was able to sign up in this network marketing company, 21 years old, and just like Sean said, it was very simple. They said, get 3, right, Roby? Get 10, do it again, and then you'll make a lot of money. And I promise you, I did the exact thing, and by the time I was 25, I was one of the top 5 money earners in that company. Now, Fast forward, I remember thinking, oh my God, I got a little bit of money to spend. I don't want to have the MC Hammer story. Y'all know about the MC Hammer story, right? Like, I didn't have as much money as him, but I had a little bit of change. And so I was like, man, what do I need to do? And I remember reading books, courses, and CDs, and I came across this article and talked about Oprah Winfrey. And Oprah Winfrey, she said she made her money in broadcasting, but she held on to her wealth in real estate. And I'm like, oh my God, so whatever Oprah's doing, right, the world does, right? So I started to seek out people, and I ran into an old friend, Todd Sherman. I hope he's get a chance to see this. But he was selling real estate, and I said, man, look, I want to buy real estate. Can you help me buy real estate? And Todd said, of course, Harris. That's what they call me. We went to high school together. Harris, I'll help you buy real estate. We went out looking for some foreclosure properties at the time. This was back in 2006. And at the time, I had a nice little fancy car. I was young, just buying crazy stuff. And I had a 745 BMW. And we bought this house for $36,000. We split it half and half. And we bought it together. And so when we bought it together, he was like, man, I was like, dude, I'm watching TV shows. I want to flip this house. I want to flip my money. I want to make a lot of money. I didn't know about residual income as much, and I didn't know how to build cash flow. So I wanted to flip properties and flip my money. And Todd said, well, Harris, you can't flip in this market. I don't know about y'all, but if you tell me you can't do something, I'm going to do it, right? And so he was like, well, Harris, here's the deal. You can have this house if you give me the deed to your car. Here are the keys, let's rock and roll. A few months later, I ended up selling that house and doubling my money. I sold it for like $76,000, and I was hooked. I was absolutely hooked, and from there, I literally went into beast mode. I was using my own money to buy properties, pulling cash out of properties, buying all these properties and selling them and flipping them. Then all of a sudden, this thing happened where the bank stopped lending money. Anybody familiar with that? The crisis, the 2009-10 crisis, they stopped lending money, and I had bought all these fancy things. I had the big house. I had a beautiful family now. I had a couple boys, and I remember sitting there, and I pretty much wasn't able to support my lifestyle anymore. I had to foreclose on tons of properties that I had in my portfolio. And that was one of the worst feelings in the world. I was like 28, 29 years old, and it felt like I had lost everything. And I remember I called my friend. He's actually sitting here now, and I was telling him about my situation. And I had 2 boys. I had a wife, and I was like, man, I don't have a place to stay. I can't go back home with my parents. You know, can you help us out? And he was staying in Wrightsville Beach, North Carolina at the time, and he was like, man, you can come stay with us. Now, it wasn't just the best place in the world. We had a twin bed to sleep in for me, my wife, and my 2 boys. And I'm sitting there, you know, laying in the bed. I remember thinking in the middle of the night, like, okay, my boys are 2 years old, 1 year old. My wife will remember, but I got probably about a good 2 to 3 years to get out of this situation before my sons are old enough to remember that we were sleeping in the twin bed. And from there, I turned it on. So what I did, guys, I don't know about you, but I believe in God. I believe in the Bible. I was raised in a Christian home. But I know that God doesn't take you on the rough side of the mountain to destroy you or hurt you. He puts you there to redesign you and to restructure you. And so from there, that restructuring, I had to fall back on that word, man. I had to fall back on it. My mom and dad had instilled it into me so many years. And I remember calling out. I'm like, hey, God, I need you again. Why don't we always call on God when we need him? Why don't we call him when we up and up, right? God, I need you. I mean, what can I do to change my situation? And this is where I got to look at my notes. I asked and I prayed for the wisdom to change. I didn't want more money. I wanted what Solomon asked for. He wanted more wisdom. And when I asked for more wisdom, the scripture that came to my mind, I don't even read the Bible like that, but the scripture that came to my mind was Romans 12:2. I don't know if you remember this, but I'm going to try to help you remember. He said, be not conformed to the things of this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. By the renewing of your mind. That meant anything that I wanted to change in my life, I had to first change the way that I think. Without me changing my thinking, my circumstances wouldn't change. George Bernard Shaw said, circumstances, they don't make a man. They reveal him to himself. That means what's on the inside of you is literally a reflection what you see on the outside of you. And I started to see this, and I'm looking around me, and I said, I got all these scattered results that I'm happening That's a residual effect of my scattered thinking. I need to get definite in my thinking. And so what I also wanted to know, I kept reading, and I was led to these different authors and people who taught about this subject of thought and how to train your mind and how to build faith. And one of the main people who taught it was Jesus. He was speaking to the disciples, and he said, whatsoever ye desire when you pray, believe you have received it, and you will have it. Without any doubt in your heart. You can't have the doubt. Remove all doubt, and nothing is impossible to you. This is what Jesus said. He didn't say you have to do this, he said, believe that you have it now, and you'll receive it. Another scripture that I like to call out that came to mind, faith, Hebrews 11:1. Faith is the confidence of what we hope for, the assurance of what is unseen. That means that if I can't see it, I have to see it in here first, in my mind's eye. Another one, Hebrews 11:3. By faith we understand that God created the worlds, and the things that are visible were created by the things that aren't visible. Y'all, I'm going somewhere with this. Follow me on this. And another one, Hebrews 11:6. Without faith, it's impossible to please God. And what did that mean to me? Without faith, it's impossible to please God. That means that how do I please God? By having the faith that he will externalize the thought that was in my brain, that I've created an imagination, and he would make it physical. So he told me not to worry about how it's going to happen, but be definite in what it is that I wanted. So I read about this guy. Anybody know Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich? Think and Grow Rich, one of the greatest books about how to learn how to love. I don't have enough time to really go into a lot of detail about this, guys, but I'm going to call out some books, and I want you to do your homework, and I want you to build on it. Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill. I wanted to know how do I develop this faith that Jesus spoke of? How do I develop this faith? Because all of us go through hard times and we experience pain. We experience fear. We experience the things that may deter us from going further. How do I have the faith in something that I can't see in my physical? And Napoleon Hill in his book says, faith is a state of mind. I want you to remember this and write this down if you can. Faith is a state of mind that can be induced by repetitious instructions to the subconscious mind. Faith is a state of mind that can be induced by repetitious instructions to the subconscious mind. How do I develop that faith? How do I learn how to create worlds? And I'm going to talk about this for just a second. He explained how we have two minds, two levels of the brain. And I know you might, how do you make $100,000 a month? Guys, what I'm telling you now is about 80% of the reason why we were able to leave this room, why I was able to leave that twin bed and get out of that situation and change my scenario. I renewed my mind. We had two levels of the mind. We got a conscious mind. Everybody say conscious mind. Your conscious mind are your five senses. It stands guard to the seat of what creates for you, your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind does not think. It does not make a decision. It simply receives what you've repeatedly put there, and it manifests it without a shadow of a doubt, which means that you have the ability to change your situation by inducing what you believe on your subconscious mind, but you have to first do what Proverbs said. Proverbs 4:23 says, above all else, guard your mind, for everything that you do flows from it. And this conscious mind, I want you to understand this, your senses, your eyes, your ears, your sight, your sound, your touch. Those are the guards to your subconscious mind. What you repeatedly see, what you repeatedly hear, what you repeatedly touch, what you repeatedly taste. Those things are impressing on your conscious mind. And if you do it enough, it will penetrate through to your subconscious brain, and your subconscious brain will receive it, and it will then manifest to you whatever it is that you're. So that means I grew up in a black household. There was a show, some of you familiar with it, called Good Times. We can't watch Good Times. You can't go home and watch Good Times and say, I want to be a millionaire. You can't go home and watch Fred Sanford you can't go watch Honey Boo Boo. Anybody know that? You can't go watch Honey Boo Boo and want to be in abundance. You got to guard your mind. You can't sit up and watch the news all day. You can't turn on the radio and listen to the junk. What I want to train you all on what I do personally. And like I said, I'm not an expert, guys. I'm just telling you what I believe, what I have the faith that has worked for me. Okay, let me flip my notes over. Okay? So here's the thing. What I began to do, guys, I learned about this guy. Write this down, Neville Goddard. Neville Goddard is an amazing author that teaches you how to develop this thought, this mindset, and he also uses scripture to back up what he teaches. Guard your mind of whatever you repeatedly do. You can't hang around broke, lazy people. What I tend to do, what I call it, going into manifestation mode. What that means is anybody that sets out with definite focus will hit your goal as long as you don't lose focus. The only reason why men fail is because of broken focus. Period, point blank. So what I do is when I'm ready to go into manifestation mode, I've hit a goal, I take a break because it's mental. Once I hit my goal, I take a break, and then I step back, and then I reset. And how do I reset? I reference Neville Goddard because he teaches about John 14:2, where he talks about Jesus and how Jesus, once again, was an amazing thought author. He taught us how to implement these principles. He says, in my Father's house there are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I will go there and prepare a place and come back again and receive you unto me, so that where I am, there you may be also. What he says in this scripture is he's talking about the I of you. The I of you. When you mention I and you say am, you do what? Summon creation. It's two of the most powerful words. Your spirit side of you summons the creation. He says, in my Father's house, there are many mansions, many ideas, many possibilities. The kingdom of heaven. Inside of you, there are many mansions, many ideas, many possibilities. I will go to one of these possibilities, one of these mansions, one of these ideas, and my spirit will prepare the place mentally. And I'm going to tell you about how I do that. I will prepare the place for you mentally. I'm going to go to that moment, that nowness. The only time, Claudia spoke, the time is now. The only time there is in this world is right now, meaning that I can personally, mentally, spiritually go wherever I want to go, and I can prepare the place. Then what I tend to do is I come back to my body in the morning. So in the morning when I wake up, I go to the place. I come back to my body, and then I prepare the place, and I take it to where I need to go. My spirit now has built the bridge mentally. Now, when I go through obstacles, I'm not focused on the obstacles because my spirit has defined the place where my body needs to come to. So when obstacles arrive, I'm not affected by it as much because I'm definite in where I'm going. I has determined that. So what I personally do is I like to liken this to a movie. You are your own movie. Write this down. You are the producer. You are the producer. You determine the wish. What it is, the theme of what it is that you want. That's not the definite part yet. You determine the wish, the theme of what it is that you want. Then you are the author. You have to write the end script of the movie. Don't worry about the how. The how is not your jurisdiction when you're summoning creation. You don't have to worry about the how. God handles that. I don't know how. What you have to do, Martin Luther King says, just take the first step. You start to take the first steps in faith, and the how will be laid out for you. So don't worry about the how. You are the author. You write the end script, and I'm going to talk about this in just a second. And then you are also the director. The director takes the actor and he rehearses that role, that end result, over and over and over again with the actor. And the actor is your body. It plays out the role. So when I'm developing and manifesting whatever it is that I want, I'm going to tell you what I do. I have a recorder on my phone, an app. All of you can download it, whatever it is. And I record the end result first. What it is that I want, I'm definite, I'm precise. What do I want? You can't hear my thoughts. Nobody can hear your thoughts. Go in a quiet place, go out to yourself and record the end. Write it down first so you can be definite. And when I write it down, Sean references this as the January letter. What it is that I want, and I don't say in 6 months I'm going to have, in a year I'm going to have. I say it feels so good to have this right now. Include yourself in the visualization. Include yourself in the visualization. You have to say this. Think from. Say this again. Think from where you want to be. You have to think from the place that you want to be. You can't think of the place. You have to think from the place. And when you think from the place, you are in it now. You are believing that you have it now so that you can receive it. Whatsoever you have, believe you have it now and you'll receive it. Think from the place. So I may say, oh, it feels so good picking up this $100,000 check at Saddle Creek Clothing Company. Man, I went home, I looked at the wife, my wife smiled on my face, my boys hugged me. They go to the best school. They go to this particular school. They get the best education. My life is so great. I'm driving in my whatever car that I desire. I can skip scenes in my visualization. You can too. I determine the end with definite. And you know what I do? I turn off all distractions when I go into manifestation mode. I turn it all off. TV, I don't watch TV. You can ask my wife. When I'm in manifestation mode. I don't listen to the radio. I don't listen to Jay-Z, Lil Wayne, and all those people when I'm in manifestation mode. I only listen to my audio. I call it audio visual. The people that we help and we teach this to, we teach them how to create an audio visual for their life, their end result. And so now, this is the only thing that I hear when I wake up. When I wake up, I go mentally to the place. Then I come back to the body and get it in. Faith without works is what? Faith without works is what? That body has to get to work. You can't just sit around and meditate all day. But throughout my day, I can't do that all day. But then I come back to the body, but while I'm taking on my day, I'm having that in the radio, blasting it. I may even put some instrumentals to it. Because that's the only thing I want to penetrate into my subconscious mind. And you know what? Somebody says, well, when will it happen? When you have the faith for it. If it's not in your life, you don't have the faith developed for it. There's some doubt there. The moment you have the faith for it, it appears in your life, just like that. So now, let me go back to my notes. So let's go into the feeling is the secret, and then we're going to get into this money. Feeling is the secret. One thing you want to make sure you include is to feel the moment. Feel it into existence. The thought plus the feeling. If it doesn't make you happy, whatsoever things are a good report, whatsoever things are good virtue, do what? Think on these things. You have to think on these things that make you feel good. Well, if it makes you feel good, think on it. Period, point blank. So what I want to do first is give you some homework. If this is a new concept for you, I can't teach you all of this in this shorter period of time, but I want to give you some homework. And if it's something big that you feel like you can't believe, I felt in that chair over there last year that I was going to have $100,000 a month. I knew the only thing that I had to do is be definite in my vision so that I can go back home. I couldn't wait to get back to a private place and record my audio vision so that I could tell my body where the spirit is about to go. Period. So, homework. I want you to think of something drastic. Don't even think about money. Money is something that a lot of people have a hard time believing. I want you to think of something small. I want you to think of somebody giving you a pink cup or a pink apple. I don't know. Something crazy. I want you to tell yourself, I will not pick up a pink cup. When you wake up in the morning, repeat this to yourself and set an alarm clock on your phone every hour. I will not pick up a pink cup. And then before you go to bed, 20 minutes before you go to bed, I want you to see that pink cup and you not picking it up over and over in your head. I want you to do that for the next 7 days. Call me, inbox me, or whatever, and tell me if you did receive that pink cup. Because the subconscious mind does not decipher if you don't want something. It only hears the end. So you can't tell the subconscious mind stuff like this. I will not be broke. What did you just say to yourself? Broke. That's the only thing your subconscious mind hears and it focuses on. So when you want something, command it. I am rich. I am successful. I am abundant. I am whole. You get what I'm saying? Summon those things into creation. All right, let's get into this money. How'd y'all like that so far? All right. All right. So let's rock and roll. So the big question, guys, is how do we go? Hey, that was 80% of it, by the way. How do we go from 0 to 100 grand real quick? No, okay. All right, so that's Drake, by the way. I'm silly, y'all. So I don't know if y'all get a chance to watch me on Facebook, man, but I'm always having fun. All right, so first I determined my why. I was definite about my why. I knew that I had bad credit from all them foreclosures. I didn't have a rich grandfather or father, etc. We was middle class or probably right below middle class. My dad was a retired police officer for 27 years, and I was probably one of the first people in my family to come across large sums of money, if you consider that large sums of money. I was the first person in my family, and so when I got it, I didn't really know what to do with it. I just was hungry. And so when I got it, I didn't know about cash flow. So I wanted to make sure that I put my family in a place to where that would never happen to me again. I wanted to have what I call a residual-based income because I had residual bills. And so wholesaling was my funding partner. I saw this as my funding partner because we live in the best real estate investment market in the entire world, in my opinion, where I can buy properties for $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $10,000, homes for $10K, $10,000, fix them up for a few more grand, and buy me some residual income. But I had to have some money. The banks wouldn't lend me anything. My family wasn't rich. I couldn't go to them. They was probably in foreclosure too, off one house. Here I am saying, hey, look, can I hold something? No. So I came across a book on Sean Terry talking about this free ebook, and I'm sitting there reading the book like, oh my God, dude, you telling me that I can get this contract signed from somebody who wants to buy it, turn it in, I ain't even got to look it up, turn it in, and somebody's going to pull the title work and give me the money in between? Say no more. I'm gone. And so what I did was I determined my why. My why was I needed money so that I can build some residual income. You have to have a place for this money to go to. Money's vibration is movement. If you don't have a place for it, it will find somewhere else to go. You have to put it in something that circulates back to you. So I needed this, and so what I did is I created this spreadsheet for myself. It's really cool. We made this spreadsheet of all our expenses. And I learned that the way to get out of the rat race was to know what your expenses is, and when you have enough passive income that exceeds your monthly expenses, you're officially out of the rat race. You know you can be in the rat race as a business owner, right? You can still be in the rat race if you're a business owner. So I didn't want to be in the rat race as a business owner, so I created this spreadsheet with all my expenses, and then I determined how much I needed. Like Kent Claudia says, and I learned this from their techniques, I reverse engineered my end. I said, okay, I need $100,000 a month to be able to buy, 7 to 10 houses a month. And with that money, I can buy them, fix them up, and I'll have this much coming in. And by this time, I'll have the residual that's needed so that I don't have to start back over at zero next month when I try to wholesale. That was my whole game plan. And so now this became my funding partner. So I started moving, and this is what I want you to remember this. Because some of us are here to learn how to build systems. How did we go to $100,000 a month? I didn't have a team starting out. I didn't have all of the amazing podio systems that I'm going to talk about in the next 13 minutes. I didn't have any of that, but I didn't have the money, I didn't have the income, but I had what I call an energy budget. My energy budget matches Coca-Cola's, the billion-dollar company. My energy budget was strong enough to where I could post for free on social media for the next hour if I want to, 7 times a day. All day long. Craigslist. My energy budget changes the game. I can do these things for free. And so as I began to do these things, how much did I need? I started moving, and I did every position. I placed the signs. I made the calls to the sellers. I did all of that until I was able to scoop up enough money, and then I took the leap of faith. I swiped the credit card, and I hired a VA. First position you need, write this down, lead sourcing manager. Learned that from Sean. You need a lead sourcing manager that's going to do the tedious task. He talked about the $5 an hour task. My lead sourcing manager stays in Podio on a daily basis and does the tedious tasks, answers the phone calls, and do all those things and talks to the sellers. Next, we hired a seller acquisition manager. Write that down, seller acquisition. You need somebody. So I talked to a young man back in the back. He said, how do we get to where they can't talk on the phone as good as me? Nobody can. Y'all remember the Superman comic story? When Superman died, they had to recreate him, but they had to create 5 versions of him. Y'all remember that? I was a comic book freak. Superman had 5 versions of him because one Superman couldn't be recreated. So I had to recreate Supermans at each position to duplicate myself. And when I would interview and I would look for that energy, and I wanted the best of the best. If you don't know how to do podio and you're my lead source manager, I can't hire you. If you don't know how to talk to people, you don't pick up on stuff quick, I need sharp people around me. The next person I hired was a marketing person. I knew that once I got my system in place, all I had to do was turn on the faucet. We get about, how many leads a day from buyers, Mo? 25, 30 new buyers a day. Just from turning on the faucet. Every day, our marketing person posts all over the internet. We put out signs every Friday. All of these marketing mediums that we put together, it generates the sellers, the buyers. Now, how do we get sellers? This is one of the biggest things that people want to know. How do we get sellers? How many of y'all do mailers? I don't do mailers. I've done it before, but it's not my source of stream. What I do, I look for free mediums, and this is for the people that don't have anything to start with. How many people say, I ain't got no money to do all right, here we go. That was me, and I know Sean wanted me to talk to you about this. So what I did was, the first thing is I got on Zillow, and I still do this, even though I have a team in place. Every night I get on Zillow, and we talked about this on the podcast, and it seemed like the world started doing it, but you know what? People aren't consistent. You got to stay doing it. Persistence beats anything. And I find the for sale by owners, and I text for sale by owners, 20 of them every night. My wife thought I was talking to somebody else at first. Until them texts start rolling in. So keep texting in the middle of the night, baby, you know? I got permission to text at 1 o'clock in the morning. So I text sellers at 1 or 2 in the morning. I'm disrespectful. If you got your phone number on the internet, I'm going to bug you until you should put on the internet if you want me to call. I'm disrespectful because I want to stand out. I want to be remembered. I want to be noticed. So when I wake up in the morning, I then have an inbox in my text message, not my team's, of houses that I can actually go get and get a contract on. I'm not looking for them to be satisfied with my offer. I'm looking for the response. So if they're asking $100,000 for their house, I'm going to offer them $30,000. The ones who ain't interested ain't going to respond. The ones who say, well, oh, my God, I can't take $30,000, but text me back. Let me know if we can go a little bit higher. Who am I going to call first? That guy. That means that's the motivation. I determine motivation based upon if you respond to that ridiculous offer. When you respond to that ridiculous offer, now we got some motion, we got some traction. And then I put a follow-up system in place where I'm going to follow up with you until you buy down, tell me to stop. Here's the other one. We got Zillow, right? Everybody wrote that one down? You need to next make out a list of everybody in your network. Free mediums. We got shirts. My son's got shirts. 8, 7, 3-year-old. 3-year-old putting on the shirt. My daddy buys houses. But what I'm saying, my daddy buys houses. But what I'm saying is, so we created me and my wife started a mobile app business. We create Biz Boom apps. And so with that app business, we've gotten a huge contract with a large mass amount of churches around the United States. And so, but from that, I'm looking for people that have problems or that get access to problems. Where are their problems? Whoever finds the solutions makes the most money. So now I got this development relationship with pastors. And hey, Pastor Johnson. So my days are sometimes filled with me calling my network of pastors. Hey, Pastor Johnson. Anybody call in today talking about they need you to pray for them about to lose their house? Guess what? You know what? Sister Johnson came in here the other day, and Bryan, I'm going to give her your number, and here's her number right here. She definitely needs your help. These are unorthodox ways of thinking of people that are in your network that need your help. They want you to help them. And so by you going out of the box, talking to your son's teacher, your daughter's teachers, your pastors, your bankruptcy attorneys, your divorce attorneys, developing these relationships, cultivating these relationships, that free network sends us leads on a daily basis. And at this point, we have enough residual coming in to where now, like Kent said, we are the money. We are the buyers in our market. Plus Kent too. But I think we have a whole different system. But we are the money. So now people in our market bring us deals because we're buying residual income ourselves at this point. We're not just, it felt so funny finding a wholesale deal. Yeah, you make a $10,000 or $20,000 spread, and you're like, well, you know what? He's going to probably make about $1,000 a month off that house. Why we keep giving that away? Let's keep these things. So now we keep a lot. We got like probably about $80,000 worth of deals I've gotten in the last month, and I look at my wife and say, babe, I got $80,000. Keep it. My wife is on some keep it mode. Buy and hold. We're building residual. So now your network, what else I got? What else do we got for free mediums? Zillow. Your network, your Zillow, and my main one is PPC. You got to have a little bit of change in your pocket for PPC. PPC, it makes you the hunted, not the hunter. Okay, we have a great PPC guy that we use that's absolutely phenomenal, but we actually use PPC, and now these people contact us on a daily basis in the middle of the night as they're searching, sell my house fast and all those things, okay? Everybody with me? All right, so the next thing that we did was created the Podio system. I had to swipe an Amex card to get this. I don't know if y'all know Dan, I think Los is in the back, but he's here. They have a new system called Investor Fuse or something like that. But that system, I actually heard about it on Sean Terry's podcast. And he was interviewing Dan, and I was like, I got to have that. I didn't have the time to sit there and send out contracts. So then what I began to do is I looked at this video, and I was like, I got to have it. I trained my VA on how to watch the tutorials that they put in place because I didn't want to be the one in Podio all day. So I trained my VA by watching tutorials that I created on the things that I knew how to do in it, and then he watched the other videos that they supplied. And once again, I want to hire people that are quick learners. I don't have to tell you something once or twice. If I had to tell you something twice, it's a problem. So my VA picks up on things very quick because we're sharp. And so by him picking up on those things very quick, we ended up being able to outbuild our Podio system to now it caters to what we need at this point. But I think Investor Fuse is in the back. I'm not sure about this, so I won't say. But the next thing, guys, we hired is a transaction coordinator. What a transaction coordinator is a person that gets the information that's needed from the buyer, the seller, and the title company. That eats up a lot of time, guys. So the transaction coordinator, and do these things as you make the money to do them. But don't hold on to the money, put it back in your business. And trust the process, don't rush the process. Everybody say that. Trust the process. Trust the process. Don't rush the process. All right? And so now the transaction coordinator coordinates all of the things and gets all the paperwork. So we created this tutorial. And then we have all these tutorials for our team to where they can go and watch these trainings because I don't have the time to sit here and train you over and over and over again. Watch them tutorials. How am I going to know you watch tutorials? Because if you're not doing the job that you need to do, you ain't watching my tutorials, right? So the next thing is the buyer disposition position. That's when whoever talks to the money. I still talk to the money. Me and Mo talk to the money. Talk to the people who are going to be putting money in your pocket. I love that position. Okay? Write out your list of everybody that you know. And here's the other thing. When it comes to marketing, you got to become obsessed. I've heard people say, I'm scared to post on Facebook. I'm scared to post on social media. It's free. People see the news feed whether they like your status or not. People see the news feed whether they like your status or not. You have to become known for your obsession. What are you obsessed with? When you think of Michael Jordan, you think of what? When you think of Michael Jordan, you think of what? When you think of Tiger Woods, you think of what? When you think of Muhammad Ali, you think of what? When you think of Bryan Harris, you think of what? Daggum right. That's rock and roll. That's what I'm saying. Obsession. You have to become obsessed. And how do you become obsessed? You become obsessed by always putting what's on your mind out there and letting the world know it. Facebook connects you to the world. Put it out there. I don't want to add no more friends on my Facebook. Why not? They got money. They know somebody who's about to foreclose. Add everybody that you can. And add people that are moving in the same direction as you. Be relentless, okay? And when it comes to negotiating, guys, talking to sellers, I got to go over this. The way we're able to get as many deals as we need is we actually have tools in our toolbox. Tools of negotiation. So when you don't, some people have different methods, but I'm going to offer you my low cash offer first. I personally wait on you to reject the low cash offer before I come out my next toolbox. Hey, Mr. Seller, okay, you own it free and clear. Okay, how about we do owner finance terms? Okay, 0 interest, I'll pay you this, I'll give you the full price until it's paid off. How about that? All right, Mr. Seller, you're upside down on the house or you owe a mortgage on it. If the mortgage brings in, if I can look at rentermeter.com and it brings in, I can make $300 plus off the cash flow, I then make a decision to take over the payment. Hey, Mr. Seller, look, I like to do a sub-2 transaction on it. I got a sub-2 transaction packet. We got the whole process of how we buy the property in the trust, and we explain all the process to the seller, and we have that as a negotiation package. Well, I would do it, but I don't want the title to be in my name. Learn this from Sean, contract for deed. The deed stays in escrow, doesn't change names, but when I fulfill the obligation, I change it over. And you don't want to do that? Okay, Mr. Seller, what about a lease option? You get what I'm saying? I don't throw away deals, I find solutions. And that differentiator has helped us to be able to kind of dominate and be able to take as many houses as we need to help as many people as we need. Okay? Have negotiations and tools in your toolbox. Got a couple seconds left, guys. Don't throw away leads. The next thing is beast mode. You got to embody beast mode. How many beasts we got in the room? Everybody wants to be a beast until it's time to do what beasts do, right? Everybody wants to be a beast until it's time to do what beasts do. I see people online with beasts and lions all on their wall. It's time to eat. And the way our team operates is you kill it, you eat it. Show up. If you work with us, you got to be a beast. Period. You hungry, let's go eat. When we wake up in the morning, they get the messages from me, we going to go get it. We got to go out and continue to win big for ourselves and our family. Wrap it up. Repeat until your goal is met. Steps to look to 100K a month. Number 1, renew your mind. You can write these down. Renew your mind. Number 2, what do you want? Determine what you want. Number 3, start with the end in mind. Feel, sound, look, like, go there. Go there mentally. Number 4, stay focused on the end result only. When the bad things happen, go back to the end. It's just like a movie. That movie that you go to the movie and you're watching the hero online, on TV, on the movie screen, and you're watching this hero, and he goes through all these trials and tribulations. He loses his wife, he loses his girl, he loses a car, loses a house, but at the end, he triumphs. And during the movie, you crying through the movie, oh my God. And at the end, you're like, oh yeah. But then if you go back and watch that movie again, right? You watch that movie again, you're not affected by the same trials and tribulations. Why? Because you know what the end is. Your life is the same way. Do that with your life and your vision, guys. All right, number 5, take action. Faith without works is what? Take action, thoughts, people, circumstances. Plan of action needed will be delivered to you. All those things will not be in place when you create the vision. They will be delivered to you as you start to take action. Number 6, put your systems in place. Start finding where to fire yourself first. Weak spots. Look for where you're weak at. Where are you weak? Where are you sloppy at? Are you sloppy at taking 2 days to send a contract? Fire yourself from that position and find somebody else. Look for places where you're weak. That's how you determine where you need to put a person in place at. Okay? Put your systems in place. Number 7, be relentless, beast mode, go all in, not over until I win, follow up until they buy, die, or tell me to stop. I don't have time for questions, but that's all my time. My name is Bryan S. Harris, guys. Thank you so much. If Sean will allow, thank you so much.
Give it up for Bryan Harris.
Thank you so much, Sean. How you doing? Good.
Rock the house, man.
Good.
It's so cold.
Oh, it's freezing in here. I'm nervous, too.
Give it up for Bryan Harris.